Hello, hello, hello. It has been a bit, hasn't it? We're not gonna get into that. But hello, welcome to another episode of Minecraft Evolutions. Let's actually get into the game here. I have it paused. Um, okay, one sec. Do I forgot to change this. I was doing some testing. We're not gonna count that as cheating though. I think I was at full health anyways. But why am I here? I kind of noticed. I'm kind of acting shocked here. I noticed this when I first loaded the world. But why am I over in my farmland? I didn't. I know I didn't. Oh wow, my thing's a little jittery. That's my end of my computer. Uh. Her. Let's see. I'm messing around with some new OBS settings and stuff. I finally updated my OBS. It was like a year and a half old. Man, now I have to get used to a new setup. But I keep getting distracted. Why am I over here? I did not uh save the world over in the or not desert, over in my farm. I was up on top of my tower watching the moon. Why am I over here? Um, where? Wait, where's all my stuff? Oh, I hope I wasn't carrying any diamonds on me. Okay, one second, one second. Let me see if maybe let's see. No. Don't save. Load file. Let's see. Is this gonna fix it? Maybe this will fix it. Maybe there was just a messed up lo save. Why are we in a different location? I don't like this. Hey, what? No, we're in a new location again. What is going on? Uh, why are we just teleporting around each time I load the world? Wait, the desert. Did I lose the desert? No. Please say I didn't lose the desert. You might hear my voice in the background. That's because I have my stream open right now just to make sure it's not laggy. Come on. Don't say it undid all the work on the desert. Yes, I know the grass is growing here. I'll talk about that later. But hopefully that'll fix the lag. Let's see. I think the lagging issue or choppiness was on my end with my computer, but maybe no, it seems smoother now. But did we lose? No, the desert's still here. Okay. All our work is not gone. So why is it whenever I do this, we just okay, we're back in the desert, but we just teleport. What? Why is this happening? Um, it likes to teleport me here. I promise you guys, I did not leave Save the World over in this area. I saved it up on my tower. Let me try something. Load file. Let me try something here. Oh, let me try loading this one. See if this changes. Oh, you see? This one works perfectly fine. What? This one worked perfectly fine. So I have a corrupted file. This one should be pretty much well. Should be exactly the same as the file I was trying to load. This is just a backup copy. Yeah, we have the desert. This is where I ended recording. It didn't make it into the video, but this is actually where the recording ended up here. So I recorded the outro over there, walked over, came in here, climbed up. I think I cleaned up. No, I did not clean up my inventory. I usually do. I just came up here then and ended the recording, saved the world. Yeah, I don't know why that file's all corrupted. I didn't do anything with it. Huh. Odd. And okay, anyways. Uh oh Of course, I logged out at night, so now we gotta wait for the night to pass. We are on our proper difficulty, yeah, okay. We're gonna be up here waiting for night to pass. But in today's episode, we will be working on cleaning up our world. We are gonna go and cause there's a lot of little things that I just kind of left behind because I didn't feel like doing it. Example, there's some trees over there that never fully got finished growing. We also have the trees over there that never finished growing how I wanted them. We also I noticed this when I was turning this turning the making the outro for my videos. There's a gold block still on the tree, so we need to go over there and get that. I think there's also a crafting table up there, but yeah. But what else was there? I also want to work on cleaning up the mine area. I want to put a few more builds in here. Get rid of all the torch spam because I absolutely hate how that looks. Get rid of all the torch spam. Probably build a few more builds. Nothing as big as this. But a few more small builds. I don't know what yet. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. But I don't think we'll be getting to that in this stream. All really depends. It might be a next stream thing. What else was there? What else was there? Was there? I also want to collect it. We need to do some more mining so we can finish up our throne room. I have a feeling, sadly, womp womp, that we will not be completing the gold pillars. So we either need to just completely remove the pillar idea and then use the gold somewhere else, or we got to use a different block for the pillars. I don't know what I should use though. I don't know what would look good. We really don't got much. Maybe iron, but that's still a little expensive. That's not as expensive as gold, but right now we're kind of out of iron because of our pyramid over here. But yeah. But other than just cleaning up the world, this video is not going to just be us going around cleaning up the world and just you guys watching me do boring chore stuff, because trust me, there is quite a bit of boring chores here. But this video will also be a bit of a world tour. I'm going to be just walking through the world, talking about what gave me the ideas, I guess, inspiration, how I feel about the builds I made, all that good stuff. The common old world tour that good old YouTube had. You don't get many world tours anymore, sadly. Well, maybe never mind. Maybe we do. There's still some good world tours, but we're speaking all the day away. But I think there's still some good world tours and stuff people make. Yeah, there has to be. But yeah, I guess let's just kind of get right into the video. Today, we'll be working on the foliage, because these parts are probably going to be the hard. Well, we'll actually be working on 3 different things. Let me clarify. First of all, we need to work on the mine shafts, not the mine itself, the mine shaft. Because we're supposed to have, you know how in Minecraft you normally have those, like, I guess, support pillars, beams, those weird things that are every so often. We need to build a ton of those throughout the mine shaft. Instead of them just being empty hallways like they are currently. And we actually spent I think it was 10 hours last episode collecting logs, because I knew I was going to want to do this. Where are they? And we got a ton of logs. I think I pretty much filled out my whole inventory, I think there was a few things that were taking up inventory, like my bow, a sword, all that good stuff, arrows, probably some food. But we need to do that, down in the mines and do all that. But what else we also gotta do is, like I was saying before I interrupted myself, is I want to work on the foliage around. Can I climb stairs, please? I want to work on the foliage around the castle here, make it actually look like a hedge, like it's supposed to look. Not we're getting some weird lighting errors. Usually they're gone by now. And then work on the foliage over there. Which, while we're doing that, that's also gonna get us the wood that we'll need for the mine shafts down there. So yeah, that's the plan for today. And if we got some extra time, I kind of want to deck out, or at least make the what is his name? The Onceler. The Onceler's house a little better in the inside. So what I would like to do is take all the items from in this building, this one main base we have, and spread them out throughout the world. So all my wood, logs, and sticks could go over into that building over there where we have all of our chests and it's like our wood storage. Then all of our saplings can go into there, into that the one settler's house. And then all of our weeds can go into the grain silo here, and so on and so forth. Maybe we add a storage area over in the mines for our stone and all that junk. And just stuff like that, just so all my items are in one place. And when you guys, and if you guys want to join this world, you guys can kind of just get like immersed in the world and stuff like that. But I got myself some tea. Uh it's not hot tea, it's just some iced tea. That's what it's called. You know, I suck at talking and doing stuff at the same time. I was just standing there that whole time. Um, it's just some iced tea. I kind of want to try out more hot teas, but it's kind of the same situation with coffee. I love coffee, but I don't drink it all the time because I am very picky about my coffee, so it takes me like 20 minutes to make myself a cup of coffee. Hello, creeper. So it's like I like it, but I'm too lazy to make it. There's still monsters out here, surprisingly, despite the sun being up so high. But I do want to, I kind of do want to try out more hot teas. Definitely after that one time I was sick and tried my iced tea that hot instead, it tasted so differently. Like, I don't know. You guys need to go watch the video I made, but it was so good. Let's get rid of this. Uh, how do we do this? This tree's never gonna grow. Oh, that actually hurts my wrist being like this. Okay, I need to adjust here. This is not working out for me. I need my elbow. That feels awkward too. I don't have anywhere to place my elbow. Eh, this sucks. Oh, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Ow, that it hurts though. That's the issue. It actually hurts my wrist to be doing it like this because it's at such a weird angle. Uh, we got some dirt on us. Good, good. Going to do. Doesn't really. What if we do this? What if we do something like this? Place the tree all the way out here. I think here's actually a better spot, to be honest. We got some trees that just probably gonna have to get rid of some of this. Okay, see, why is there a giant chunk here missing? This tree's just not usable. Okay. We gotta get a tree growing over here. This one should grow, but it's just not. Maybe if we raise it up a block. Maybe now it will grow? I don't know. Let's turn down our sensitivity a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that will stop us from bouncing around. I'm not a fan of this tree, so we're gonna get rid of it completely. And I know I've been on and off on this part, like this little project for a while, trying to get it to actually work. It just has not been working for me. But what's making me hopeful is the fact that the entrance to our world, that area did work pretty well. So it's kind of making me hopeful that this one will as well. Let's plant it here. Get rid of these stone blocks. I don't know why is it so low down? We'll see, I guess. I feel like I kind of want to raise that one block. There we go. Maybe we do need the sensitivity up high, since I can't move my wrist around that much. Let's get rid of this tree and plant it here instead. Let's plant a tree over here. And let's just see what happens with that. Now we kind of just gotta wait for that all to grow. Though it is becoming nice, so let's go grab some of our logs and go down to the mine shaft. Just to start working on that. Alright. I don't know if I want to put any here. I feel like usually in Minecraft, any mine shafts are exposed with the roofs open. They don't have these little support pillars, so we're not going to do it in these parts. But these are what I want to spread throughout the entire mine shaft. And let's start with our, I guess, our newest tunnel, which is down here. How far out was I spacing them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That seems more than normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks for these high sensitivity. No, I think it's supposed to be 5. It seems like it fluctuates. Yeah, you see, that's 6. So maybe it's supposed to be 6, because that's the only one that's 5. Though 5 seems more satisfying, but okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's gonna be 4 blocks here. No, it's gonna be 5 blocks. Never mind. Bloop, 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 bloop. Doop, 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 doop. Though, when I do the math in my head, I'm gonna be like really old by the time I get to by the time I get into the newer quote unquote modern Minecraft, I'm gonna be quite old. And I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get to the newest version in my lifetime. That's the issue. That's the only negative to doing what I'm doing. It's a lifetime commitment. Even if Minecraft stopped updating right now, that's 24 years. I guess it's not a lifetime, but that's like two decades. That's quite a bit. And I really don't know. No, I don't think anyone's really even spent a year in each version of the game because the game updates faster than that. So I might be one of the few people who actually do. We've done up here. I think we've finished the mine shaft now. I think we've gotten every nook and cranny all decorated, so we can start removing the extra torches I left behind so monsters wouldn't spawn. Yeah, should we start collecting iron and stuff? There's still veins, or we could leave it. We could leave it. Do we? I don't know if we really need it. If we do need it, though, we're gonna have to come back down here with the monsters. What do you guys think? Should I collect it, or should I just leave it? It kind of adds to the atmosphere if I just leave it. I I think I leave it. I think we leave it. So let's start getting rid of torches. We're not gonna be coming back down here. We can say goodbye to this part of the world. I don't know if this is the way out or this deeper end. Now that we have the underground bits decorated, which no one will ever see, I want to go ahead and get rid of all this ugly torch spam because when we were first building the mines, we were kind of just limited. Well, when we were first building the mines, this was a big project. Like, it is still quite big, but nothing compared to our other things we've built. But this was a huge project at the time, and on top of that, we were limited to only stone tools. So, after I built the mine and then this giant hole right here, I was just too lazy to build anything else and left all the torch spam here. So I want to go ahead and remove all this because now it's just kind of an eyesore. I don't like how it looks. Definitely when it turns night because of the lighting errors. None of it gets actually updated. And you just get these, wherever the torches are, these little areas stay bright, but everything around it stays dark. So I want to go ahead and get rid of all these torches, and then I want to build something. The issue is, I had no idea what I wanted to build. So I went ahead and went over to the Golden Age Minecraft subreddit and asked you guys where I got some good ideas and some better, like Anthonus, I hope I'm saying your username right, who gave me this picture of Heaven's benchmark, and I used that as inspo to do some test building in a creative world. And after like 3 hours of collecting wool and some other supplies, I finally got enough to go ahead and start building. But the main thing I took as inspiration from the picture was the blimp itself, because I had already wanted to build some airships in the world in similar style to the airships in the end. But the reason I never really did was because we have no slabs or stairs yet. And I remember this one time I tried building just a regular old pirate ship in beta, and it was a pain. I had a lot of issues building it, mostly because of the water, but also it just ended up looking terrible. Hence, I was kind of hesitant to build a ship in this world. But blimps are a bit easier because the bottom under thingy of the balloon doesn't have to exactly look nice. It just has to be a platform. That's really all it is. The blimp part is actually what carries everything. So I could have just built a flat platform and that would have looked correct. It would have been a very simplified blimp. But I still tried making it look nice and building the platform with I think the word's a hull. Hull is the right word, right? A hull of a ship. Yeah, I tried building it with a hull. Uh, though in hindsight, it could have been thinner because it is a bit chunky right now and doesn't look the greatest. I think if I squished it down a block or two, it would have looked a lot better. But I am happy with the top half of the balloon and then the slab detailing. I do love that. But after I built the blimp, which took us the longest, to be honest, I just went around the mines and added in just some piles of stone, a couple piles of logs, because of course you need some logs for making tools like pickaxes. And lore-wise, we could say that came from over on the uh, from the tree nursery or the lumber yard, even better. But we also went up to the cliff face and we built ourselves a little European styled house those classic medieval houses you often see built. I'm not really a big fan of these style houses. They do look nice. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of how they look. I guess they're just overused a lot in fantasy because they're European, and whenever you think medieval times, you think, for the most part, European because that's where a lot of it comes from. But I don't know. I guess just overused in a lot of things, and I'm not a big fan of it. But it's the only thing I could really think of fitting here. So we built a little European house, where again I tried finding another use for the dirt block for something I wanted to do. I think this was it's kind of in the same idea of logs and dirt kind of have a similar texture and look similar. And I think I've tried this before too on another build. I don't know where or if it was maybe in a test world. But again, I tried making dirt useful and using it as in a different way. Uh, Here I was trying to use it as a roof, and I just really didn't end up liking how it looked. So instead, I just ended up opting for using oak planks and a couple other things, including a well, which I'll show off later. I don't want to spoil everything we did. We'll see that later in the world tour coming up in here in just a moment. But if you do want to see everything we did build and everything we did during I think week before we left this world behind, go ahead and check out my live streams. I streamed all of our building sessions live, so if you want to go watch them, go check that out. Then we also went ahead, and once we were fully done building everything, we crafted up ourselves some dangerous TNT and placed it inside the hole. This was a plan I actually had from the very beginning, but I didn't want to do it early on in case I accidentally broke the TNT, which, if you don't know, to ignite TNT in this version and most of the older versions of Minecraft, you don't use flint and steel. You just simply punch it and it ignites. So didn't exactly want to accidentally punch it or have a creeper blow it up and then ruin all my work. Plus, also the TNT in Indev is way more powerful. Like, I was playing around with it in a just a random world one time because it was fun, and it is powerful. It makes huge craters. But I think that's about everything for the quick rundown on what we did. I'm gonna go ahead and let Pass Me take back over so you guys can actually see what you clicked on this video for. The world tour, my Indev world after 1 year. Okay, everything has been updated. The first thing we're gonna showcase is the first build we ever made, and that is our tower, our little handy tower that we've been spending most of our time in this world. I, I, I remember not, this wasn't 100% my own design. I saw another similar tower, and that's where I got the inspiration for this tower here. So I did make some adjustments and tweaked it. This tower wasn't originally my own design. Not 100% at least. I pulled a lot of inspiration from another one that I lost the picture to, so I won't really be able to show you guys, but if you guys know of what tower it is, go ahead and tell me down in the comments or in chat. But basically what I did, because I didn't want just to have this cube, this mossy cobblestone box to be our forever base pretty much, or starter base. Instead, I added some stuff on top of it to make this tower, added some details, and as you guys can see, the original box is still here. The only adjustments I ever made to this first floor are these steps right here. And that could easily be undone by just breaking these steps and putting them back right on this layer. And that would fix the house right here to being brand new like it was when we first generated it. But I ended up generating a world with this mossy cobblestone starting house so I could have these chests with all the items in the game, so I could have them when I update the version. And we've never touched any of them. These are all special items that will never come out of these chests. They are up to stacks that we can't even get in this version. And yeah, there's also wool colors that we won't have in the future, like all these. Most of these will disappear, sadly, even though I love them. And yeah, I generated the world specifically in the version of Indev that had this, so I could get this structure. And that's also why we ended up not having any gravel, which is what I wanted to use originally to blend in between for layers. I want to use gravel in between cobblestone and stone, but sadly we didn't have any, so I just went cobblestone, stone, and then the wool. And yeah, that's literally all this tower is, just a cube, which I then added stuff on top of to actually make it look a lot more interesting and not just like a rectangle we built up. But then the next build, if I recall correctly, that we made was the beach here. I think it was either the beach or the castle. But we're going to do the beach here because it's right next to us. And the beach, I came up with the idea for when I saw this large body of water. Now, we did adjust it slightly, and that's when we got our... No. That means we did do the castle first. So the beach was the third thing we built. But most of the water was already here. We just extended it out to make a cool shape here. And we also added a waterfall up above that currently does not exist. But before we leave this world, and it's the reason why I have this water block in hand, I'm going to remove these blocks here, and I'm going to place some water up on top where it needs to be, and that will become our waterfall when we update the world and water blocks get their physics added in. Yeah. Up here, we ended up also building this whole little mountain right here. It's not the prettiest thing looking at it. I was trying to make something that would look good with the sand texture, but I'm not 100% happy with it. I think what we did with the desert looks a lot better in comparison. But this is the little mountain we built. We did a little gradient up to stone at the top. We also had this extra little mountain over here, and instead of just removing it and putting sand there, I ended up making a little bridge over to it, which I think looks nice for this version. And we built a little picnic area. We are still waiting on this tree to grow though. So once that grows, this picnic area will be done. This is like the little picnic blanket. This is where they would keep their food. We could actually put some food in here if we want. Another chair right up here to sit and sunbathe in. And yeah. We also have these little chairs that I like the design of. We have to be a little careful jumping in water because sometimes we still take damage. It's a bit annoying. But yeah, that was our beach. It didn't take us too much sand over here because a lot of the sand was already over here. And we didn't have too much terraforming. I think the thing that took the longest was this mountain here. And this is where I learned of the mechanic where in this version you can fall up to 3 blocks before taking damage. So a lot of the areas are 3 blocks tall. I was trying to mimic the natural terrain generation with the shape, not of course the color and texture, but in the shape I was trying to mimic it, and I don't really think I did that good of a job here. But yeah. Then of course we added this little cave here. It went through to go upstairs to this layer. And yeah, that was the beach we built. We then planted a bunch of trees just to make this little area feel a little covered up. The idea was that you would forget you're on an island because of these walls here and then the trees. You kind of forget you're on a floating island and just think this is a natural, normal beach. That was the idea, at least. You can kind of see that you're on an island from over here, which we'll get to that, that might have actually been the second episode. So I think tower, mines, castle, then beach was how we did it. Yeah, that seems right. But then in episode 3, we built this giant castle, which took a ton of stone, a lot of coal that smelted all up. But at the end of the episode, something odd seemed to happen when this appeared. No idea where it came from. It looks like an angel. There's gold blocks on top. None of this I built myself. This all just naturally appeared. I have no idea how to explain it. But there was also a chest right here that contained this water block that I hold. And yeah, that's how we got the water block to build the beach shop. But this place used to look a lot worse. Definitely over near the beach. The terrain used to be all bumpy like. So we ended up doing a lot of flattening out over here. This area was actually already flat, like how it is right now. This was already flat perfectly. We did plan to build something in this cave, but I never got around to it, sadly. But we did add this little ramp here, which I love the look of. It looks like a nice, what's the word? Majestic little ramp that leads up to our castle. And these were quite fun to build. I was originally planning on putting on the towers the gold blocks, but I decided to go with iron instead because we didn't have that much gold at the time. And we just built these little towers. These are just cubes upwards. And then we have walls in between with the little gradient up to pool. But we added these little bits as what these are supposed to represent are the ramps that are on a lot of castles in real life. And they were to prevent people from climbing up the tower. It's because they're little ramps and they're smooth. It makes it hard to climb up the tower and then into the castle, obviously. And that's what we did all the way around. We did some over here, which I do need to fix this because we never did. We also need to place more dirt over here, so we'll do that once each day again. It is becoming night, and I don't want to risk it. Let's walk ourselves in. But then, in here, now this was the thing that I had the most trouble figuring out how to build. I was trying to figure out the shape I wanted that would fit in this area and work well. And I'm still not 100% happy with it. It just looks a little weird. But this is what we went with. It's a like an oval. And they have these pillars inside that were originally meant to be gold, as you guys can see right here. We started. But sadly, we do not have enough gold, so instead we'll be taking this back. I'm not really sure what blocks to put here in place of the gold, though. That's the thing. We could just leave it as the cobblestone, which is what we originally built it with. But that seems a little samey with all the walls, because they are very much the same. Let's bloop, 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 bloop. It also looks like I don't remember doing this actually, but it looks like we did a gradient, but not upwards. We did it going this way, which makes sense. I think the idea I had with this gradient was these cobblestone blocks are darker. So as you go this way towards the throne, the color gets brighter. You get this throne, and then with the window up here, this place is pretty much always sunny. And then we have the diamond throne, which is what took us forever. It took us a whole year to actually get enough diamonds to build this up. And, let's see, I'm trying to count them in my head. 4, 8, 12, 16, 18, 20, 24, 26. There's 26 blocks of gold or not gold, diamonds in this throne. Because there are blocks of diamonds right behind this. All of it is diamonds. We didn't cover any dirt in here. And yeah, I want to build this throne. One thing that we never did add, we'll see if we dig it right here. Yep. Is I wanted to add a little garden right here and connect it up with little hedges. But I just never did because of how hard the hedges were over in the front. I never got around to doing the hedges over here. And we did the floor out of completely crafting tables because I thought it would look nice because like, we don't have many blocks to texture with. And instead of just doing oak planks, I figured doing these crafting tables with this grid would kind of look nice. I don't really know. You guys need to tell me if this looks like, it might just look really ugly. But that was the idea. We are gonna have to wait for day though to come back before we can continue this tour. So up the tower we go. Okay. Next area to go and look at is well, the mines. I think that's a good next area to go check out. Just a little walk over. Again, we might have to wait for stuff to update. I guess while we're over here, I can take a look at this little build I made. This is part of the entrance to this world. It's just a little structure. I'm not gonna say where it's from, but it is from somewhere. You guys can find out where. But this is where we're keeping our bow. This is where we'll have to return to get our bow when we come back here in the future. Yeah, that's really about all this structure serves. But then, continue over this way to the mine. We have a little, like, church building right here. With a body of water, some seats for people to sit in. This is supposed to be like a church type thing. And of course, we got sheepies on the trees. Again, another thing part of the entrance to this world. But the thing we were actually here for, the mines, which we need to actually go down there and remove those torches now. So one moment. Let's head down there. So this is the mines. What we originally built on episode 2 was just this structure in the hole. No, none of the TNT. Just the hole and this crane right here. That's all we had built in episode 2. But recently, like a couple streams ago, we expanded it, adding piles of rock, some logs dotted around, and a blimp, which I really like the look of. There's nothing really on here, it's just for looks. Same as most of the builds here, it's mostly just for looks. We have this cool crane, which is, again, not my own design. I got some inspo from another crane build that looks very similar. But I added, of course, my own stuff to it. It had a hole too, but it wasn't like this type of hole. It was just a square hole straight down. Like a chunk was dug out. And you got this little walk area, got a little bridge that leads to where the crane is, which we have random stuff up here. And this is where, lore-wise, the crane would go down, you put stuff on it, the crane comes back up. It took a ton of iron blocks here, and there's even a gold block at the end right over there. See if I can get a good view of it. Yep, right there. And you don't have to also just come down this way. You can come up through this little ramp I built. This was mostly here already, so all I did was just adjust it slightly. I also forgot to mention, we didn't really add most of these little floating islands are already here. We just added a few, like I think we expanded this one and we completely added this one in. And there's just a little path to get over because I thought it would be less interesting if we just built a bridge. Because also at the time I didn't have any bridge designs until I found that one over there. But yeah, we got a little path. You don't have to go over and up the steps to get up. You can come right over here if you like. And climb up this way. It does look like we forgot some torches here, which is a mistake. I meant to remove all of them. Then you come up here. And these again were new additions. This was already here to get up on top of the crane. But these here are new additions. We got a little well that you can look down and see water down there. That was naturally spawning. I didn't put that in there. And then you got a little house, which looks a little terrible. And again, there's nothing inside, it's just for looks. And then you have a little bench right here to look at all of the mine. Nice little bench. But now let's real quick go down into the mine where the treacherous TNT is. Gotta be careful around it. We need to real quick remove the torches in here. But this hole is a actually a real life type of mine that exists. How do you drink? I'm not sure what it's called at the moment, but this is a real mine, and the idea of it is you dig in a spiral to reduce the amount of weight getting pushed down, because if you dig a straight hole down, there's a really high chance of the hole just collapsing in. So this reduces that risk by doing it out in a little spiral. And then you got the mine here that goes actually underground. I'm gonna block it off because it might be turning night here soon. And then you got the little bridge that goes all the way through the whole world. This whole thing goes on through the whole world. And part of the reason why we ended up building these little islands was because I didn't want any bridges just hanging in the void. I wanted them all to be attached to these little islands, so it makes sense how they're just hanging here. Because these are affected by gravity. The islands aren't. The islands are floating. This isn't. Nothing I build is. So those little things go throughout the whole mine shaft wherever it's floating, and yeah, it connects up to make it look good. But it does seem we're gonna have to wait another night, so I think a hidey hole. We can destroy all these torches now. On to the next area, and I guess since we're over here, we can go ahead and show off our entrance. Let's come over here. Now over here we have a couple things going on. We got some small builds like this right here, which is just some random stuff to add into here, makes the place look a little bit more interesting. But we also have this nice little flower garden over here with a tree and a bunch of flowers all around it. That's really about all that's over here. But then where it gets a little bit more interesting, we got a bridge, which this isn't the first bridge like this we built. We'll talk about that later. Ooh, we have to go through the wheat. But then we got this is where you guys will be spawning when you guys join this world if you guys want to. We got a little farm over here that you guys can go ahead and plant stuff into. We got a house here that might look familiar. Then we got our little pathway here, which this was a lot easier to make than the what is it called? The hedges over on the castle. Because this is all just spaced out little trees. They hadn't still touched the ground, but we were able to break them up to make them look nice, drop flowers into them. Got a little angel over here that I don't know if you guys can really tell if that's an angel, but it's supposed to be like a little angel thing next to a pond with a tree and some flowers around it. And then we got area where you guys will spawn at up here, where you guys will be able to see the entire world. Let's wait for everything to update so I can show you. Okay, everything is updated. And this will be the view you guys get to see when you enter the world for the first time. From here to here looks really populated. The more you go this way, it starts looking dead, empty. But I still really love this look. Look how good this looks. It's sad to have to say goodbye to it. But this will be the view you guys see when you first spawn in. And then we walk through here, walk through all the stuff I've shown you guys so far. But now over to one of the my largest project I did in this world, which is going to take a second to get over this, so one moment. Alright, so we're going to skip over the farm and all this. We'll go over here last, just so we give more time for this all to grow. But our next big Well, our biggest project we have done in this world is the lumberyard. We terraformed a whole island, which took us forever, but we terraformed it into this wasteland here with all the trees cut down and just a few dead trees standing. And the first structure we built is a house that might look familiar to people who've watched the Lorax. This is the Onceler's house. And this is where we are keeping all of our saplings. So when we come up here, there's a bunch of saplings. All the chests aren't full, but this is where all of our saplings are. And we can, in fact, go up higher, just there isn't really a proper way up, so a little bit of this. Follow this bridge over. Come up here. And now you're up on the roof of the house. You'll see all the stuff from up here, but there it goes even higher. It goes up to the stuff that the one stiller built on top of his house, which is another house. Nothing up here, just a little house that gives you more view. But then we worked our way that way to adding stuff. So let's go over there real quick. So this right here is a little mini structure we built in the area. It's just like a little campsite for people who are cutting down trees. Got a little fire pit with some logs, with chairs around it. We got some tents. And that's really about it for this area. And then as we go this way, we get another house that I really love the roof of. And it's the sawmill itself. And of course we got some more logs dotted around. I did go a little heavy on the slabs and cobblestone on this area, so it looks a little messy. But we got the sawmill here with a nice little wind turbine that powers the saw itself, which is right here. I'm not really sure how good this saw looks. It's supposed to be like a spinning saw, and yeah, it's supposed to look like that. We got turning a log into planks. We got nothing back here because we never finished it, sadly. We did leave this area a little blank. But we don't look behind the builds. But then we got the... Oh, good thing we came over here. I clearly forgot to remove the dirt. There also used to be an island right here. But we removed all of that, so there's no island anymore. And in here it has 2 floors, if I can get up here. We have the first floor here with the torches. And then we got our second floor, where it has the rafters I really love the look of as well. Or let, since it's just a zombie, let it in. There we go. Okay, let's continue the tour. The next building we made over here was the storage area for all of our logs. And we also have over here another crane that goes down into our mine, which we can see right here. We can actually survive that drop down and go into the mine that way. But then we have our area where they store all the logs and stuff, which we'll go ahead and just loop this in now, since we have it. And yeah, that's our log storage area for the lumber yard. And that's really about all that's over here. So let's go over to the desert next, which is the most recent thing we built. And that took us some time, so just give us one moment and we'll be right over there. So now we have the desert, which starts right over here with a little path down. It's a little thin though, so we gotta be a little careful. But now we are in the the desert. And we have these little leaf blocks that took us forever to get, because just like the hedges, we had to grow trees in a specific way to get them like this. And these are just supposed to be like little cacti. that. If you look from far away, you might be able to see them as cactuses. So then it just comes over here. We got rid of all the dirt in this area, so underneath the sand is just stone. And as we come up over here, this plus our beach over there is every block of sand in this entire world. There isn't a block of sand hiding out anywhere else. We used every block of sand here. The rest of it, which we had to stack after building this desert, went to our mines with the TNT. But over here we got a little pyramid with these textured slopes. Don't know how else to describe it really. There's nothing inside, it's just to look nice over here, and it goes right up to the edge. And we have these awesome looking layers of soil over here that I love how they came out. These are supposed to replicate those layers like what you would see in where the red desert's called in modern Minecraft, Badlands. But I forgot what those are called, but it's basically the same thing as what's in Badlands. It's exactly the same thing. I tried mimicking over here for these little layers. We got them over here as well, which I think works out really well for the desert. And then we got a bunch of cactuses dotted around. And over here we have a little savanna with water and boulders in the water. So as you guys can see, there's a boulder there. But this is just like a little lake that, yeah, this is a little Sahara? No. An area in a desert where there's water. Savannah? No, it's not Savannah. I don't know the name of it, but yeah, an area that holds water. Nice little grass here too. And this one block of dirt finally spread? That took hours. It wasn't spread when we finished up this desert. But yeah, that's really all that's over here other than just lots and lots of sand. The next area we can go over to is the farm, so let's head over there real quick. The desert was just one of those things I knew I wanted to build from the beginning, just like the tower, the lumberyard here. It was just one of those things I knew I wanted to build from the beginning. I just didn't know how exactly I was going to do it and just how long it was going to take. I knew I wanted to build a giant tree, which is what we're going to go head over to right now. So, let's head over. I knew I wanted to build a castle up on that little hill over there that I showed you guys. And I actually specifically was looking for a world with that type of world gen in it. So I could build a castle like that with that nice little slope. Because I had found world gens similar and I really liked it. So I ended up just keeping on generating more worlds until I got the generation I liked. And we're going to have to come back through replant those. Okay. We'll come back through later. It's a bit hard to get around. We got a teeter on the edge here to do so. I don't know if this ends off. No, it doesn't. Okay, we can go down this way. Just gotta teeter a little bit, not fall off. And we broke another one. Just be careful not to fall off the edge. This area should be completely peaceful, so there shouldn't be any mobs I have to worry about spawning up here. So that's why I'm not carrying it in a rush, really. Okay. Out we go. Alright, so this area here, well, it is still acting up lighting errors. But this is our tree nursery, and this is where we farm all of our wood. I was initially planning to build it over in the lumberyard, but after seeing what the trees look like when they fully grow in the lumberyard with the ruined terrain and all that, I wasn't a fan of it, so I moved it over here even though it's smaller. Yeah, we get less wood from it, but I think it's about a stack and a half each time all the trees are grown, so yeah. And then over here, we have, this is the actual first bridge we built like this, which we missed a spot. I need a tree. Give me a sapling. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. And bloop. This area it's the first bridge like this we built, and this is a straight up one-to-one ripoff of another bridge I saw on uh the Reddit page for Classic Minecraft. I saw this bridge in the background and I love the design of it, so I just straight up ripped it up. I did add these little dangly bits here. That's all I really added though. Now over here, if the world would update with the lighting errors. We have our giant tree. Now, like I said earlier, this is one of the things I knew I wanted to build from the beginning. If I can get all these lighting errors dealt with so you guys can actually see it. Lighting errors are still happening up there. We might have to wait to get these update. One moment. Let's see. Yeah, we have to wait. Come on. Update. There we go. So this tree, I already had plans to build something like it from the beginning. I just had to figure out how to do it, and the way we did it was just building the trunk up and the branches. Then at the ends of each branch, we place a dirt block and then a sapling. So all these leaves up here are all regular normal trees that we grown together to get this fruity seed tree. How we ended up doing it to make it actually all grow correctly, where the hedges were having trouble, is we went from we started below, so the first layer was on the bottom, and then we slowly went up, so all the trees would grow correctly, and not get stuck by another tree in the way. We also have this little lake here with a mini tree right here, and then we have our path, which is really expensive to build because of all the iron in it, and I'm not really even sure how well this iron looks, for a path at least. It adds some variation in the texture, but I think gravel would have looked better and been way less expensive. But yeah, this area is just all for looks. So now we can go on over to the farm, which is the last area we can to go tour. So let's get up here, preferably not break any wheat. We broke a wheat instantly. We don't got many seeds left. Oof. Okay. And this is the final area to go explore. Now, we obviously have the farm here, which you guys have seen plenty of. It's just a giant terrace farm. But originally, I was planning on digging it out so we could build a tunnel so we didn't have to walk up there. And we do have quite a bit of this area mined out. We just never finished it. As you guys can see, we got a ton of this mined out. All of it's lit up. There's some danger zones on the other side, though, over here. That's why we never went over here, even though that's the way I need to go. And yeah, I wanted us to turn this into a mob farm, which it kinda is, but I never finished this, so I never got the ability to harvest any of the mobs that spawn in here. But that's really about it for the inside of the terrace farm. Out here is more interesting, because again, we have this expensive path, and we have another correct windmill. It's an actual windmill, not one just slapped onto a building like we have over in the lumberyard. And in here we keep all of our seeds, which is not much. We actually have no seeds. And then we have our grain silo, which is where all of our wheat is held. So yeah, if you broke into there, that you would find a ton of wheat. And then we got a little barn here for like little individual areas for things to be kept. We sadly don't got any fences to put here, so it's just an open area. And yeah, that's all of the world I've shown you. It's everything we finished building in a year, all shown off in like what, an hour? Oof. Lots of stuff built. I guess let's head back to our tower. There isn't really much else to do. I haven't gotten any suggestions on what to build here today, so back to the tower we go. We're probably gonna end stream here since that's really about everything we're gonna do today. How long we got left before we have to leave this world? We only got like 5 hours left before we have to leave this world, so I guess we'll leave this world behind a little early. Say goodbye. It was fun while it lasted, but it's finally time to move on. You guys look out for the next video I'll be posting. Not episode 11, which will be coming up, but the episode after that, which will be a video of compilating all of the 11 videos we did with, yeah, all 11 videos, and I'll explain how I feel about Indev and whether or not I like the game. So yeah, I hope to see you there, and let's go hurry up back to our tower because we're, no, 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 oh no.